My name is Danny Thompson. I'm one of the owners here at the Music Factory School of Music.
I'm Corey at the Music Factory. I'm one of the owners here.
I started playing drums when I was maybe 10 years old in 4th grade.
I started out, in 3rd grade band, went through elementary school, just really had a passion for music and playing drums.
Back then, there was music in all the schools, and that's just kind of what you did at that age. You always started playing in the school band, and my brother had played in the school band, and it was something my parents definitely wanted me to pursue at that time.
Through my high school years, I played and started to play in regular garage bands and just kept playing drums basically.
I also had a really musical family, and we'd spend a lot of time when I was a kid, like at Christmas time. I had a couple uncles that sang and played guitar. And that was something that our family always did, was sat around and just sang songs together. And
Around 2000, my local band at the time, we had a dream of moving to California and becoming rock stars.
I really wasn't too familiar with like rock music or bands. I was an Elvis fan. I thought I wanted to be a singer and be like Elvis. And somewhere around 11 or 12 years old, when I was playing in the school band, somebody played me a Kiss record, and that was pretty much all it took for me to decide that I wanted to play drums in a band.
After about a year, everybody else, it really didn't work out for them, so they ended up moving back to Michigan. I stayed out here just because I was determined that I was going to make something happen. So I just put myself into the Orange County area and tried to play in as many bands as possible and be seen. I
took lessons all the way through high school, and shortly after high school I got into what turned out to be a pretty famous band in Chicago called Material Issue, and I did that for several years. And it's somewhere along the line I sort of fell out of playing music a little bit and just started working a regular job. I worked for the Guitar Center chain of music stores, and I started working there in 1990 and ended up staying with them for 18 years.
Played in a lot of local bands, and I fell upon the band was called Fire Escape. They had recently gotten signed on an indie label that was backed by Columbia Records. So from 2006 to 2007, I toured with them and played music on the road. It was an awesome experience. It was something that I, was like, I want to do this for the rest of my life. So at that point, I played till that ended and came back to, Southern California, where I'd actually met Danny through working at Guitar Center. He was actually the manager that hired me to work at Guitar Center. We worked there for a few years together. He was a store manager, and then he later was promoted and moved on as far as district manager.
Kind of leading the corporate lifestyle and not so much involved in music. But there was always something eating at me about playing drums again and being in a band. And I can remember specifically the moment when it really hit me hard. And we were at a corporate meeting, and we were in a break room, and there was a huge mural on the wall, and it was like a shot from on stage looking out at a crowd. And I was sitting there looking at that and seeing the faces of the people looking back at the performers, and it just gave me this almost horrible feeling in my stomach that what I really should have done with my life, and what was maybe one of the only things that I was really pretty decent at, was playing drums, and I wasn't doing any of that at all. And at that point, I started just playing in local bands again and just really doing it for fun and just to be able to enjoy it. And I kind of just progressively worked my way up through, different bands. About 2006, I was 17, 18 years into the corporate lifestyle, and I just knew I wanted to do something different. And that was the point really that me and some friends decided that we wanted to open the music school.
At some point, he left Guitar Center to start the Music Factory, and I thought that was super cool that you could go out on your own and be your own boss. And I especially thought it was cool that it involved music, which was something that I've said that I'm super passionate about. And when the opportunity came that I could be a part of it, I jumped on the chance.
And that was the original idea behind opening the Music Factory. In 2008, we'd had the school open for a year or two, and that was when I decided to make the jump and leave the corporate world. Luckily for me, within 6 months of making that decision, I landed the gig in playing drums for Face to Face, which is the band that I'm still currently with. So Unlike a lot of people maybe that went into music and really excelled at it when they were younger, for me it happened at a later point in life. So I was almost 40 years old before I really had the experience of, playing for 10 or 15,000 people in a huge, arena type setting. And since then I've been really fortunate. I've toured all over the world, pretty much every country you can think of, and just made several records, and we're still actively doing that today.
Currently, I'm playing in 2 country projects on drums. One is the Justin Lee Band, and the other is Redneck Rodeo. Both are playing local venues here in Orange County, all the way out to festival-sized crowds that are playing in Nevada and Arizona and surrounding areas in California.
Here we are, it's 2015 now. We've had the Music Factory open since 2006, and it's been a really interesting journey. It's amazing that we have students that I remember coming in and they were 10 or 12 years old, and I get a call from their parents that they need to stop taking lessons because they're getting ready to go to college. And it's really fun to watch some of the students grow up like that. And we have attracted just a really unique group of students here. It's a really wide mix of people, everything from very young kids up to senior citizens. But more so than the age groups and the experience level of the students here, it's a certain personality type that seems to be attracted to doing lessons here at the Music Factory. And I think it's also very reflective on the personalities of all the teachers that we have here as well. So we tend to attract a really cool, hip group of people, and that's one of the things that I enjoy so much about the school is all the cool kids, the amazing families that we've met here.
Learning an instrument is something that will be with you for the rest of your life. Physical stuff comes and goes, sports come and go, but music, if you keep with it, you can do it for pretty much the rest of your life. Here at the school, I tend to focus on the experience of what's going on in the school. If you look around, you look at some of the video that we shot, this doesn't look like your typical, school. We have quite a few teachers that put in their input as far as how the school looks, and we want to give it a different vibe, a different feel that's inviting to everyone. We want to make it super easy for students to navigate. We have a check-in system. It's our iPad out front. A lot of times the kids use it to take pictures of themselves, but we have it so teachers and students as well, we can keep track of people coming and going.
To watch those students go from zero to performing in one of our bands is really a fun experience, and the more and more and more that we do that, the happier I am that we have this school and that we see it growing and building into such a cool thing in the community here.